Psychology says there's something quietly rare about people who treat their birthday like any other normal day. Not sad, not ungrateful, not emotionally disconnected, just unaffected. If you're someone who wakes up on your birthday and feels nothing special, no excitement, no urge to announce it, no desire for celebration, you already know how strange that feels to other people. They expect happiness, attention, some visible reaction that says, yes, today matters more. And when you don't give them that, they get confused. They ask why you're so low-key. They assume you're hiding disappointment. They think you're trying to act different. But psychology reveals something far deeper. Because birthdays aren't really about age or cake. They're social rituals, emotional checkpoints. They're the day society pauses and says, today, you are allowed to matter more than usual. And most people need that pause. They need the reminder, the messages, the proof that they're seen. But you don't. And that doesn't mean you don't value life. It means you value it differently. Think about it honestly. While others count down the days, you forget the date. While they feel pressure to make the day special, you'd rather keep your routine. While they attach meaning to the calendar, you attach meaning to consistency. That difference isn't accidental. It reflects how you see yourself, how you experience time, and how you relate to social expectations. Before we go any further, pause for a second. If this already sounds familiar, if you've ever felt slightly detached from birthday hype, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not missing joy. You're not emotionally numb. You're operating from a different psychological mindset. If this already feels like it's describing you, leave a comment. You don't need to explain anything. Just knowing others relate can be grounding. And if you like psychology that explains quiet behaviors most people never talk about, you can subscribe only if it feels right. Now, let's talk about the first mindset behind this. People who treat birthdays like normal days often have a deeply internal sense of identity. Your sense of worth doesn't spike because people acknowledge you, and it doesn't drop when they don't. You don't rely on external rituals to feel real. For many people, birthdays act as proof that they're loved, proof that they're remembered, proof that they matter. The attention fills a gap they don't usually notice. But for you, identity isn't reinforced once a year. It's already stable. You don't feel more important because people celebrate you. And you don't feel less important when they don't. That quiet self-containment often gets misunderstood as emotional distance. But psychology sees it as internal validation, the ability to carry your sense of self without needing it mirrored back to you. And that alone makes you rare. But identity is only one piece of this puzzle, because the way you treat your birthday also reveals something even deeper, something about how your mind experiences time itself. And that's where the psychology becomes truly fascinating. Most people experience time in landmarks, big moments, clear checkpoints, birthdays, anniversaries, New Year's. These dates act like psychological anchors. They break life into chapters and give people the feeling that time is moving forward in meaningful steps. But if you treat your birthday like a normal day, chances are you don't experience time that way. Psychology calls this low temporal landmark salience. In simple terms, your brain doesn't assign special emotional weight to arbitrary dates. The day you were born doesn't feel inherently more important than any other day you live fully. For you, growth doesn't happen once a year. It happens gradually, quietly, continuously. You don't suddenly reflect because the calendar tells you to. You reflect when something changes inside you. You don't need a birthday to evaluate your life. You're already doing that in real time. This is why phrases like "another year older" don't land emotionally. Age feels abstract. Time feels fluid. You're more focused on who you're becoming than on how many years have passed. To other people, this can look detached or indifferent. But psychologically, it often signals presence. You're not postponing meaning to special days. You're not waiting for permission to feel alive. You understand that an ordinary day lived consciously can matter just as much as a celebrated one. And there's another layer to this. Birthdays don't just mark time, they come with expectations, social expectations, emotional performance. You're expected to respond enthusiastically, reply to messages, accept attention, perform gratitude, attend gatherings, even when you didn't ask for any of it. People who opt out of birthday celebrations are often highly selective with their emotional and social energy. Psychology refers to this as social selectivity. You're not antisocial, you're intentional. You understand that attention has a cost, and you don't spend that cost on rituals that feel obligatory rather than genuine. You don't dislike people. You dislike performance. You'd rather have a meaningful conversation on a random evening than a forced celebration once a year. You'd rather be appreciated quietly than spotlighted loudly. And you'd rather choose connection than have it assigned to you by a date. This is why birthday attention can feel strangely uncomfortable. Not because you're ungrateful, but because it feels exaggerated, symbolic, and disconnected from everyday reality. You don't want to be valued once a year. You want consistency. You don't want celebration. You want authenticity. And here's something most people miss. Opting out of birthday rituals is often a form of boundary setting. You're saying, without words, I appreciate connection, but not obligation. That's not emotional coldness. That's emotional clarity. You know what drains you. You know what feels real. And you choose accordingly. But when people don't understand this mindset, they assume something is missing. They think joy must look loud, meaning must look ceremonial, importance must be announced, and that's where the misunderstanding happens. Because treating your birthday like a normal day isn't about rejecting joy, it's about redefining where joy comes from. And that realization brings us to the final part, the reframe that ties everything together. So let's reframe this completely. People who treat birthdays like normal days aren't missing emotion. They aren't avoiding joy, and they aren't disconnected from life. They're simply anchored in a different place psychologically. Your sense of meaning doesn't spike on special occasions. It's spread across ordinary moments. You don't need a specific date to feel alive. You don't wait for permission to matter. You don't assign your worth to ceremonies, messages, or public acknowledgement. For you, life doesn't need punctuation marks to be meaningful. That mindset is rare. In a world that celebrates milestones, announcements, and visibility, you move quietly. You value continuity over highlights, presence over performance, depth over display. While others look forward to being celebrated, you're already living in a way that feels complete without it. This often shows up beyond birthdays. You don't chase attention. You don't crave validation. You don't need constant reassurance. You're comfortable being unseen not because you feel invisible, but because you don't need proof. Your sense of self doesn't rise and fall based on how much attention you receive, and that stability often gets misunderstood. People assume excitement must look loud, joy must look expressive, meaning must look shared. But psychology tells us that some people experience fulfillment internally, not theatrically. You don't feel less, you feel quietly whole. This is why birthdays can feel unnecessary to you. Not meaningless, just redundant. You already know who you are. You already reflect. You already appreciate life in small, consistent ways. You don't need a yearly reminder to do that. You understand something many people never do. An ordinary day lived consciously can be more meaningful than a celebrated one lived on autopilot. So if you've ever felt out of sync on your birthday, like the world expected, a reaction you didn't naturally have, there is nothing wrong with you. You're not cold. You're not distant. You're not ungrateful. You're internally oriented. And that orientation often comes with calm, emotional resilience, and a grounded sense of identity that doesn't depend on external rituals. Before this video ends, let me ask you something gently. Do you treat your birthday like a normal day because you don't enjoy attention? Or because you don't need it? Leave a comment with whichever feels closer to the truth. And if you want more psychology that explains the quiet ways people move through the world, the habits that don't look special but reveal something profound, you can subscribe. This channel exists for minds that don't need a spotlight to understand themselves. You don't ignore your birthday because it means nothing. You do it because every day already means something.